Welcome back to the podcast. It's Lindsay, your host, and I thought I'd just do a little in-car extra bonus episode this week because I was just thinking about last night about how we take our kids for meals, how can it be inclusive, how do you take your kids out for meals with SEN disabilities? How does it have an impact on you? Because for many years, me and my husband have avoided going places, and it's not because I would say he's got bad behaviour. It's because he used to stim a lot when he went out, and before we went down the diagnosis route, he used my son Harrison. He used to, the sounds and everything in the places that we used to go out. Say if we want to go to Nando's or anywhere, it did used to get quite stimulated and a bit worked up, but we didn't understand why. And the thing is, when you think about it, ultimately, you're taking your child in probably an adult-led place, which I used to really beat myself up about and think, oh, I wish my son would just sit there. But ultimately, is it sitting there with the kids with the iPads healthy anyway all the time? So, when it wasn't the norm for my son to go and sit in a pub and do things, because we never did that with him. So when we used to go out and we wanted to do something, we always include him in everything we do. And it's nice if I go out with my mum and dad and we go for a meal, my mum and dad know how my son operates. So it's about keeping him stimulated. And yeah, I do take his phone or his iPad, take some colourings. But last night we every 2 weeks, me and loads of some of the mums from school and some other mums, we go to this SEN friendly flip out place, and then what we do, because it's been really nice weather, I was like, shall we go to Pizza Hut? We went the other week, take the kids, and everyone was like, yeah, let's go. And so it was really nice. And what was really nice for me is we was all in the same boat. Most of us had children with some additional needs like autism, global delay, sensory. There was always some element last night of difference, and it was probably the first time I was sat there absorbing the atmosphere and what was going on. I had to realise I didn't feel panicky about things because I was with another parent who understood what it was like, so that was quite refreshing. And they was all sat on a table, and I put some pictures on my socials, and it was just nice for them all to sit there, and they all had their little quirks, and actually when they're all together they behave so well. And it's not about their behaviour, it's about how to stimulate them, and anything can trigger children with additional needs. It could be food, it could be bangs, it could be lighting, and if the staff's not right, we went to Pizza Hut, and it wasn't that busy. It was really good, and the spitting, we was in a couple of booths, so it was quite nice. We all sat together, and the great thing with Pizza Hut is, you can go up and get your ice cream yourself. So I let my son be quite independent, and I said, do you want to go and do it yourself? And the so you can then you can top your drinks up, and you get colouring. That was it. That's what I was going to say. You get colouring pencils, and they love it straight away. So that gives you a good 10-15 minutes while you go and get you get your free salad bar, and then you're waiting for your little pizza, and then you can get your drink, and then they go and get their ice cream or whatever pudding they want. So it was just really nice to look at how well they all worked together. They all sat, and us mums actually had a nice, good meal. We all had a little pizza, and we just sat and chilled and chatted, and the kids were really safe in the corner. And another thing that I didn't overemphasise was, yeah, I could see other people's on a table, and I could see the odd people looking, because obviously there's other kids making some amount of noise. You do look over, but I didn't feel I wasn't bothered. I'm it is what it is. I'm very inclusive with things, and if I was in a restaurant and there was, a parent with, a child with a disability or additional needs, and there was causing noise, and it wouldn't bother me anyway, because I know what it feels like to have a child that has some difficulties, and how important it is. Really hard as parents to have a normal life and go out, because it's hard to find childcare. I struggle to find, clubs for when it's summertime, and now he's at a specialist school. He can go to different clubs, but it's also, I do worry about, I don't know these people, he doesn't know them, so you've still got that element. It's not the norm element where you could just put him in a summer school and off they go. So it was just really nice, and I was really thinking about it. And I woke up with so much, like, last night I did my gratitude book when I got in, and my husband's away this weekend, he's golfing. So it's just me and my son, and he slept with me last night. It was so hard. I had all the fans on in the bedroom. It was just really nice. And I'm writing him a little gratitude book, and my son said he had a really nice time. And just nice that he's having, when he was at high school, when he was at primary school, and he had his friends, and the mums were my friends anyway, because a few of them I already knew, we used to socialise. But you could see the gap between my son and their children. You can't see that now. It's a very mixed school with like 12 to 14-year-olds in like that year category. And it's really nice for them just to be able to be themselves and have true friendships, which is another really good thing. There's no judgment, there's no name calling, nobody, whatever people do, nobody's bats an eyelid really. It is what it is. And that's the great thing about being in an inclusive school is, you know, you're gonna have it's gonna have children in his class in wheelchairs and different abilities, but to him it's normal. And I said to him this, like, everybody is a human being, and everybody has their own, like, we have a deaf family, so tonight I'm going over to my auntie's, and we're gonna go to the park. And my auntie and uncle, I use British, so we all have to use British Sign Language tonight, and my son learns it at school, which is fantastic. So he's used that element of difference, and like he understands. He'll ask me, why can't she hear me? And I've told her she's born deaf, and we have to use signs, and you have to use your mouth, you have to use gestures. There's no point using your voice, you can't hear your voice. So it's getting him used to different, so he doesn't, he see, when he sees someone who is different or behaves a different way, it doesn't bother him, because it is what it is. And I think a lot of kids should be like that, because it sets children up for adulthood. And when you're going out and you're meeting people, or you're being introduced to people with especially autism, like, a lot of people are undiagnosed with autism, ADHD, and we need to be more mindful when we're going out for meals. And when you're taking, if you're listening to this and your children haven't got additional needs, and if you do see a parent that's in a corner, maybe like getting like ready for blowing a gasket, which I have done in the past, because he's like just getting me riled up. And I think that's all I've made the situation worse, because I'm worried about what the people are doing and looking and saying, because I just don't want to make a scene. I'm like, be quiet, like, because we always worry about what other people think and say. But if anyone was to approach me, they would get it anyway. So, because we should live in a more inclusive society, and things should be more adaptable. And that's why we go to an SEN friendly session at Flip Out Preston, because they put this on for us, and there's no lights, no sounds, like there's no extra external factors that are going to stimulate the kids and go even more crazy when they're in there. So it's great. And we have a coffee upstairs, so we just get to chill and have a chat. And that's how we've made some friendships, me and the mums. We can all relate, we can offer support and services. We all, one way or another, long down the line with services, diagnosis, so we can really share our expert knowledge together. But enjoy going out with our children. We show people, like, we tell each other, like, well, we've got this going on, do you want to try this? So it's really good. I'm in a different circle, but if he would have gone to mainstream, and he would have struggled so much, and he wouldn't have been able to go out, like, with his friends in the weekends, because a lot of the children that he went to school with are in mainstream, and they get the bus, they go to McDonald's. He can't even tell the time properly. My son has no, stranger danger is a big thing. Like, he would talk to probably a stranger. I mean, I couldn't let him leave my sight. So I'm in a very, my situation is very, what was the word I would use? It's not, I can't think, my mind's gone blank now. But it's like a risky situation if I was to take him out anywhere, because there's so many dangers that when I was his age, I was very grown up, and I was able to do more things. But he very much needs me. But he also is growing up at the same time, so I still have to make sure that I'm working on his independent skills and his confidence, and he's wanting to do more things. I can't really hold him back, but I just need to make sure that I'm protecting him as well. So it was just really nice. It was a little reflection on last night and what it is to be a parent with a child with SEN, because I don't think people realise, because like people will say to me, what's wrong with him? Like if I will say to people, he's got a learning disability, and you know, sometimes it might come across as like mature, and people are like, oh, all right, because I think you do kind of prepare people before. And I think that's really good that I don't bother, because I think, you know, we have struggled and things in life that we should be open to tell people, you know, I'm dyslexic and I am autistic, and I might, you know, just bear with me. And you know, like it's like that in the workplace. Everything should be the norm now. We should have this stigma, and stigma is what we really really need to get rid of, I think, especially with our children. I think as parents put so much like pressure on ourselves regarding eating out and doing things socially with our children, and avoiding things like we go to the cinema and we always take him with us, because it is what it is. I mean, I could leave him with my mum and dad, but then we're not all doing things together, and he's getting a lot better with the cinema. Like I have got e-defenders if he needs them, but I think he's kind of getting used to them now. And a lot of the films, like, because he's older, he quite likes the Marvel films, so he knows that they're loud. Sometimes he'll hold his ears, but he is getting a lot better with things like that. And sometimes we should really, I feel like I don't want to pussyfoot around my son too much, as in we should also make them, put him out there, expose him. We do need to expose him a little bit, because I think there will be so much fearful when he goes and do things, because he wouldn't want to do different things, because I've protected him so much. So I've got to be careful that I'm not protecting him too much, that I am like not in. He will rule the roost if I let him to. He will be the boss around the house, which he probably still is. But I also make, you know, I am a person and my husband's a person, and we all need to be individuals as well within the household and at work. You know, our dynamics have to work together. We all have to be happy. We all have to experience new things, because that's what it is. Life. We all need to be our individual people to grow and explore. And yes, I just thought I'd do a little extra one. I'm just sat in the car. And yeah, I'm going to be working soon in the salon. So I've had a great week. It's been great. And yeah, I'm excited. So it's a beautiful weekend again. So got some things planned while the hubby's away golfing. So he absolutely, you know, deserves to be away, because he's such a great guy. And yeah, he doesn't go out that much. So, and a few games of golf and with his friends, you know, really fills his soul a little bit, and, you know, keeps him like sane, and you know, being with adults all the time, being with some of his friends and familiar faces, because he doesn't live near his friends and family, so he's up north with me. So it's really nice. I want him to enjoy it and experience everything, and I'll hold the fort down here, and he knows that I do anyway. So I have all my family and friends surrounding me, so I have lots and lots of things to do, and I try to fill my time wisely and do things so it's fairly between us all. So yeah, I'm going to go now. So yeah, let me know if you have any experiences going out with meals with children. Have you had anybody approach you about the behaviour of your child? Or do you feel like you're just not bothered, you're just going to do it anyway? And I think going forward, I'm going to start going for more meals. And maybe I will go some with my husband and some with my son as well. Because I think now he's eating better, he's trying new foods, and he's calmer when he goes out. I think that's just basically with age, because he's going into a teenager soon, so he's wanting to experience different things. So he's wanting to try things on his own, but with me present. So have a great week, and I'll see you all. Yeah, I'll wait for the next episode, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Before you go, if you'd love to become a Patreon and support the show and offer your input, you can do so with the link provided in the show notes. Or are you ready to become more accountable by joining my Busy Mums Book Club and Accountability Patreons community? We will continue to work deeper into our self-development, health and fitness, and take accountability for our own personal growth. Are you ready to become a better version of yourself?